Welcome to this video. If you've ever thought about starting a poultry farm but weren't sure how to begin, you're in the right place. Today we're going to break it down step by step, how to start a poultry farm with just 50 chickens and turn it into a profitable business. Starting small is actually a smart move. It allows you to learn, manage costs, and grow without too much risk. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to begin your poultry farming journey with confidence. Before you start, the first question you need to ask is, what do I want to focus on? Meat, eggs, or both? The breed you choose will determine your business direction. If you want quick money from selling meat, then broilers are the best choice. These chickens grow fast. Within just 6 to 7 weeks, they are ready for sale. However, they require good feeding and close care, and their business is seasonal. Now, if you are thinking about long-term steady income, then consider layers. These birds start laying eggs at around 5 months old and can produce over 300 eggs per year. That means consistent cash flow, but it takes patience. For those who want a balance of both meat and eggs, Saso, Kuroiler, or dual-purpose chickens are a great option. These birds are hardy, grow fairly fast, and also lay a good number of eggs. They're perfect for free-range or organic farming, which can attract higher market prices. So before you buy your first chicks, think about your market, your budget, and your farming style. Once you've made your choice, the next big step is setting up the right housing for your birds. If you've chosen the right breed for your poultry farm, the next step is housing, a critical area where many beginners either overcrowd their birds or fail to provide adequate ventilation. A good poultry house does more than just offer shelter. It protects your birds from harsh weather and predators, provides them with enough space for healthy growth, and helps keep diseases under control through proper hygiene and airflow. Depending on your budget and farming style, you have several housing options to consider. The deep litter system is one of the simplest and most affordable choices. With this approach, you build a house that includes wire mesh for proper ventilation, a raised roof to promote airflow, and a dry floor covered with wood shavings or straw. For example, if you're housing about 50 chickens, aim for at least 50 square feet to prevent overcrowding. While deep litter is often used for broilers, it's also a viable option for layers, allowing you flexibility based on your specific needs. On the other hand, if you're focusing primarily on layers and need a more organized setup, the battery cage system might be ideal since it helps manage eggs and feed efficiently, even though it comes with a higher setup cost. And if you have ample land, a free-range system can be an excellent choice. This option lets your birds roam freely and forage for natural food, which can help reduce feeding costs. Just make sure they have a secure coop to sleep in at night. Once you've got your housing sorted out, it's time to focus on the essential equipment that will support your flock's growth, productivity, and overall well-being. Alright, let me take you through the essential items you'll need to keep your poultry farm running smoothly, so pay attention if you're setting up your own operation. First, think about your lighting system. Your chickens need between 12 and 16 hours of light each day, especially for egg-laying chickens, so you'll want to invest in good LED bulbs or even incandescent lights. And if you're starting with chicks, you'll also need a reliable heating system. Brooder lamps or charcoal stoves are perfect for providing the warmth those little ones need during their first few weeks. Next, let's talk about feeding equipment, which is crucial for your bird's health and productivity. You can choose between automatic feeders or manual troughs, depending on what suits your style best. For a flock of about 50 chickens, 3 to 5 medium-sized feeders should be plenty. A measuring scale is also a must-have tool to ensure you're giving the right amount of feed, preventing any waste. And don't forget proper storage. Watering equipment is equally important. Chickens need constant access to clean water to stay hydrated and productive. Consider using automatic drinkers like Bell or nipple drinkers, or even simple water troughs. For around 50 chickens, 2 to 3 drinkers should keep them well hydrated. You might also want a water storage tank or bucket, especially if you're in an area where the water supply can be a bit unpredictable. And for an extra boost in your bird's health, adding electrolyte and vitamin mixes to their water can really help, especially during brooding, vaccination, or debeaking. Moving on to health and biosecurity equipment, these tools are vital for preventing disease and keeping your flock healthy. Make sure you have vaccination syringes and droppers on hand for essential vaccines like Newcastle disease. A disinfectant sprayer is a great tool to keep your poultry house clean and free from harmful bacteria. Setting up a foot bath tray at the entrance of your house can disinfect shoes before you or visitors come inside, which is a simple but effective biosecurity measure. It's also a good idea to have gloves and face masks available, particularly when you're handling sick birds or doing a deep clean of the coop. And if an illness does break out, having a quarantine cage or isolation box will help you separate the sick chickens to stop the disease from spreading. Additionally, keeping track of everything with good record keeping and farm management tools will save you a lot of headaches later on. Grab a notebook or a dedicated farm record book to log everything from feed consumption to vaccinations and egg production. A weighing scale is essential for tracking the weight of your broilers before they hit the market, and a calculator can help you manage feed ratios, costs, and profits efficiently. Now that we've covered all the equipment essentials, let's move on to the next step: feeding and nutrition. A well-fed chicken grows faster, lays more eggs, and it also builds up a stronger resistance to disease. Since feeding is often your biggest expense, it's important to approach it wisely. For broilers raised for meat, your feeding schedule will change as they grow. Begin with a starter feed during the first 3 weeks to kickstart their development. Then switch to a grower feed for weeks 4 and 5, and finally move to a finisher feed from week 6 onward to optimize weight gain. If you're focusing on layers for egg production, the plan is slightly different. Start with a starter feed for the first 8 weeks, transition to a grower feed until about 18 weeks, and then switch to a layer mash when 5% of your birds are laying. It's crucial to ensure that layers receive a calcium-rich diet to support strong eggshell formation. For those raising dual-purpose birds like Sasso or Kuroiler, you'll often find success by offering a blend of commercial feed along with kitchen waste, grains or greens, especially if they're allowed to free range. No matter what type of bird you're raising, always ensure they have constant access to clean drinking water and the necessary vitamins to boost their immunity. Some farmers even opt to make their own poultry feed by mixing maize, wheat bran, soybean meal, and fish meal and other ingredients in their correct proportion, which is a strategy that can help reduce costs. With the right feeding and nutrition plan in place, you'll be setting your flock up for healthy growth, better production, and overall success in your poultry operation. The next critical step is keeping your chickens healthy. No matter how well you feed them, if your birds get sick, you risk losing money or even your entire flock. That's why understanding disease prevention and treatment is key to running a successful poultry farm. Chickens, like any other livestock, can get sick due to poor hygiene, overcrowding, or contact with infected birds. Let's talk about keeping your flock healthy by preventing diseases before they become a problem. For instance, Newcastle disease can cause breathing difficulties, twisted necks, and even sudden death. So it's important to vaccinate your birds according to the vaccination schedule provided by the chick supplier. Then there's coccidiosis, which leads to bloody diarrhea, weakness, and weight loss. Keeping your coop dry and clean, along with administering anticoccidial drugs if necessary, can help ward it off. Marek's disease, a viral infection that results in paralysis and death, is best prevented by vaccinating day-old chicks. And don't forget foulpox, which causes scabby sores on the skin and in the mouth. Vaccination and effective mosquito control are key here. The best way to handle these potential issues is to stop them before they start, which brings us to the concept of biosecurity. Biosecurity is all about keeping diseases out of your farm, and a few simple habits can make a huge difference. For example, always quarantine new birds for at least 2 weeks before introducing them to your flock, as this helps prevent the spread of any unwanted infections. It's also wise to limit visitors to your farm, because people can unknowingly bring in diseases on their shoes and clothes. Regular cleaning is another critical step. Make it a habit to change the bedding, disinfect the coop, and keep both feed and water clean. And if any birds fall ill or pass away, dispose of their carcasses properly to ensure they don't become a source of contamination for the rest of the flock. In addition to these measures, daily health checks are essential. Take just a few minutes every morning to observe your chickens closely. Healthy birds are active, have bright eyes, eat well, and sport clean feathers. If you spot any bird that seems weak, droopy, or isn't eating, separate it immediately and look for signs of illness. In addition to vaccines and medications, there are some natural remedies that can further boost your chicken's immunity. For example, incorporating garlic and ginger into their diet can help fight infections and improve digestion. Adding a bit of aloe vera to their water is another way to support a stronger immune system, while apple cider vinegar acts as a natural antibiotic when mixed into their drinking water. By combining these natural approaches with proper vaccinations, medications, and strict biosecurity practices, you're creating a robust defense that helps keep your flock healthy. Now it's time to talk about making money. A well-managed poultry farm is not just about raising healthy chickens, it's also about selling them at the right price and finding the right customers. The first step in marketing and selling your poultry products is to identify your target market. Think about who will buy your chickens or eggs. You might sell directly to consumers at local markets, supply fresh farm products to hotels and restaurants, or even work with supermarkets and butcher shops that require a steady supply of quality goods. Don't overlook the power of online sales, whether through social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp groups, or Instagram, which can help you reach a broader audience. You might also consider selling to bulk buyers such as wholesalers or middlemen, though they often pay lower prices. To stand out from the competition, consider branding your business. Attractive egg packaging, reliable delivery services, or marketing your chickens as organic or free-range can help you command higher prices. Once you've honed your marketing approach, the next step is pricing your products for profit. Start by calculating all your costs, including the cost of chicks, feed expenses, vaccination and medication, and labor and farm maintenance. With your total cost per bird or per egg in hand, add your desired profit margin, always keeping an eye on market prices so you don't overprice or sell too cheap. For instance, if it costs you $4 to raise one broiler, you might sell it for $6 to $8, depending on demand. You can also boost your profits by selling value-added products like dressed chicken, smoked chicken, or even homemade egg-based products such as pastries. Once you've mastered raising a small flock of 50 chickens, it's time to think about scaling up your poultry business. Reinvesting your profits can help you expand gradually. Use some of your earnings to buy more chicks or upgrade your housing. As your confidence grows, you can increase your flock size from 50 to 100, then to 500, and eventually 1,000 or more. Diversifying your farm can also be a smart move. If you started with broilers, consider adding layers to your operation. Partnering with businesses can provide a steady income too, so look into securing supply contracts with hotels, schools, or supermarkets. Growth takes time, but with good management, strong marketing, and quality products, you can transform your small farm into a highly profitable business. Starting a poultry farm with 50 chickens is a great way to enter the farming industry. And by applying everything we've covered, you're well on your way to success. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment if you want me to make a video about the rough estimate of the money needed to raise 50 chickens, and subscribe for more farming tips. And if you're already raising chickens, I'd love to hear your experience, so share your story in the comments. See you in the next video, and I wish you the best in your poultry farming.